6 people dead, 14 more injured, all attacked with an axe, in their own homes, while they slept. And then, the killer sent a letter to the newspaper. "I am very fond of jazz music," it read. "Every person shall be spared in whose home a jazz band is in full swing. Play jazz or die." An entire city responded. On March 19, 1919, New Orleans filled with music. Every home, every bar, every street. Jazz played all night long. Families danced frantically, terrified, desperate, hoping music would save them. This is the story of the Axeman of New Orleans, the serial killer who demanded jazz, the murders that held a city hostage, and the case that remains unsolved over 100 years later. This is Dark True Crime, where we investigate America's strangest unsolved mysteries. Hit subscribe because this story is unlike anything you've heard before. May 23, 1918, New Orleans, Louisiana. The French Quarter, a neighborhood of Italian immigrants, small grocers, working families. Joseph and Catherine Maggio own a grocery store. They live above it. Small apartment, modest life. That night, they go to bed around 10 p.m. Their brother Jake lives next door. Around 5 a.m., Jake hears strange sounds. Groaning, thumping. He goes to investigate. The door to Joseph and Catherine's apartment is open. Jake enters. What he finds is a nightmare. Joseph is dead, his throat slashed, blood everywhere. Catherine is barely alive, her head split open by an axe. She dies minutes later. Police arrive. They find the murder weapon, an axe, belonging to the Maggios, found in their bathroom. The killer used their own axe against them. A panel on the back door has been chiseled out. That's how the killer entered. The chisel is left on the floor. No robbery. Money is untouched. Jewelry remains. This wasn't about theft. On the sidewalk outside, someone has written a message in chalk, barely legible. Police can't make sense of it, but the neighborhood is terrified. June 28, 1918. 5 weeks later, another attack. Louis Bazoomer and his mistress Harriet Lowe. Louis owns a grocery store. They're attacked in their sleep with an axe. Both survive, barely, but Harriet dies weeks later from her injuries. Before she dies, she tells police Louis attacked her, but then she changes her story, says it was a shadowy intruder. The police are confused. Is Louis the attacker or another victim? They arrest him anyway, but the charges are eventually dropped. Insufficient evidence. August 5, 1918, another attack. Joseph Romano, an Italian grocer, attacked in his bed. His nieces hear screaming, rush to his room. Joseph is covered in blood, his head split by an axe. He points toward the window. "The tall man," he says. "He came through the window." Joseph dies 2 days later. The pattern is becoming clear. Italian grocers, attacked with their own axes. Chiseled back doors. No robbery. The killer is targeting a specific community. Panic spreads through the Italian neighborhoods. Families sleep in shifts. Some arm themselves. Others hire guards. September 3, 1918. The Cortimiglia family. Charles, Rose, and their 2-year-old daughter Mary. All three attacked with an axe. Mary dies. Charles and Rose survive. Rose tells police their neighbors, Frank and Yolando Jordano, attacked them. A grudge over business. The Jordanos are arrested, tried, convicted, sentenced to hang. But Rose was lying. Jealousy, revenge, a false accusation. Years later, she confesses the Jordanos are innocent. They're eventually released, but their lives are destroyed. The real killer? Still free. March 10, 1919. Another attack. Charles Cortimiglia is attacked again, this time at a different home. He survives, but the terror intensifies. March 13, 1919. The Times-Picayune newspaper receives a letter, written in flowing script, theatrical, dramatic. The letter begins. Hell, March 13, 1919. Esteemed mortal, they have never caught me, and they never will. I am not a human being, but a spirit and a demon from the hottest hell. I am what you Orleanians call the Axeman. The letter continues. Now, to be exact, at 12:15 earthly time on next Tuesday night, I am going to pass over New Orleans. In my infinite mercy, I am going to make a little proposition to you people. Here it is. I am very fond of jazz music, and I swear by all the devils in the nether regions that every person shall be spared in whose home a jazz band is in full swing at the time I have just mentioned. The letter is published, and New Orleans panics. March 19, 1919, the night the Axeman promised to return. The entire city responds. Every home plays jazz, loud, desperate. Families who don't own instruments hire bands. Others buy phonographs, play records all night. The streets fill with music. Dance halls are packed. Everyone is dancing, drinking, making noise, anything to ward off the killer. Composer Joseph Davila writes a song, The Mysterious Axeman's Jazz, Don't Scare Me Papa. It becomes a hit. Sheet music sells out. That night, no one is attacked. Did the jazz work? Was the letter real? Or was it a hoax? A journalist's prank to sell newspapers? We'll never know. But the legend is born. The Axeman who loved jazz. August 10, 1919, Sarah Lauman, attacked with an axe, survives. Her attacker is never identified. September 3, 1919, 19-year-old Sarah Lauman is attacked again. Wait, that's the same woman. She was attacked twice. She survives both times. Remarkable. October 27, 1919, the final attack. Mike Pepitone, an Italian grocer, attacked in his bed. His wife hears screaming, runs to the bedroom, sees a shadowy figure fleeing. Mike dies from his injuries. This is the last confirmed Axeman murder. After this, the killings stop. Completely, suddenly. Why? No one knows. Did the killer die? Move away? Get arrested for another crime? Or simply stop? The investigation continues, but police have nothing. No fingerprints. No witnesses who can describe the attacker. Just theories. Some believe it's one man, a psychopath. Others think it's multiple killers, copycat crimes. The Mafia theory is popular. The victims are Italian. Many have rumored connections to organized crime. Perhaps these are mob hits, disguised as random attacks. One suspect emerges, Joseph Mumphrey, also known as Leon Joseph Mumphrey. He's a Mafia enforcer, known for violence. In December 1920, Mike Pepitone's widow travels to Los Angeles. She finds Mumphrey on the street, shoots him dead. When arrested, she claims he was the Axeman. He killed her husband. She took revenge. But there's no proof. Mumphrey was never charged with any Axeman murders. He never confessed. Mrs. Pepitone is convicted of murder, serves 3 years, released. Another theory, Frank Doc Mumphrey, a jazz club owner. His business was failing until the Axeman letter. Suddenly, everyone needed jazz bands. His business boomed. Did he create the Axeman panic to sell more jazz? It's possible, but unproven. Modern researchers have examined the case. Some believe the early attacks starting in 1910 were also the Axeman. A killer called the Cleaver, similar methods, same victim profile, same neighborhood. If true, the Axeman killed for nearly a decade. Others argue the crimes aren't connected. Different weapons, different times, multiple killers. The truth? We'll never know for certain. The case is cold. All evidence is lost. All witnesses dead. All suspects beyond reach. But the legend endures. The Axeman of New Orleans became a cultural phenomenon. Books, movies, TV shows. American Horror Story featured him as a character. Musicians wrote songs. The mysterious Axeman's jazz is still performed today. Ghost tours visit the murder sites, the houses where victims died. Tourists walk the streets, imagining that night. March 19, 1919, when jazz saved a city. Or did it? If this case fascinated you, leave a comment. Who do you think the Axeman was? One killer or many? Mafia enforcer or random psychopath? Was the jazz letter real or a hoax? Tell me your theory. And if you want more bizarre, unsolved mysteries and cases that mix crime with culture, hit that subscribe button. Next video, we're investigating the Bell Witch, a supernatural haunting that terrorized a Tennessee family and resulted in the only documented case where a ghost was blamed for a death. Thanks for watching Dark True Crime. The Axeman of New Orleans, a killer who terrorized a city, who demanded jazz as tribute, who disappeared as mysteriously as he appeared. 6 people dead, 14 injured. Over 100 years later, we still don't know who he was. The case reminds us that some mysteries are never solved. Some killers escape justice. And sometimes, the strangest stories are true. New Orleans in 1919 was a city of contradictions. Jazz was being born, A new American art form? But poverty was widespread. Italian immigrants faced discrimination. The Spanish flu pandemic raged. World War I had just ended. Into this chaos came the Axeman. Whether he was one man or many, whether he loved jazz or the letter was a hoax, whether he was Mafia or madman, he changed New Orleans forever. That night, March 19, 1919, is legendary. The whole city playing jazz, desperately, frantically, hoping music would save them. It's one of the most surreal moments in true crime history. A serial killer making demands, an entire city responding, and it worked. No one died that night. Was it coincidence? Or did the Axeman really spare jazz lovers? We'll never know, but the story lives on. Because it's so strange, so unique, so New Orleans. The victims deserve to be remembered. Joseph and Catherine Maggio, Louis Bessumer, Harriet Lowe, Joseph Romano, Little Mary Cordemelia, Sarah Lauman, Mike Pepitone. Real people, with real lives, cut short by violence. The Axeman case shows how fear can grip a community, how rumors spread, how innocent people get blamed. The Giordanos spent years in prison for a crime they didn't commit. False accusations, jealousy, revenge, justice delayed. The case also shows the power of media. Newspapers sensationalized the crimes, created panic, maybe even inspired copycats. The jazz letter went viral, 1919 style, and New Orleans responded with music, because that's what New Orleans does. Even in terror, even in darkness, jazz plays on.